Yes. All right. So, unfortunately, the Astros won. You know, sometimes you got to just let them win, right? But a couple things. Does anyone have a calculator in mind? Because if so, you can just determine it. That would be sweet. All right. So, 2 assignments are due: construction packet from last week and classifying triangles. We worked on that yesterday. You had time. You got it on Monday. Okay. So, help me out. Headphones, please. Now, next thing. What kind of triangle is this if all the sides are the same? Equilateral. Or, if all the angles are the same, what do you call that? Equiangular. Okay? So, if we know it's equilateral, we know all the sides are equal, what do I do with these two values? Don't add them. If they're equal, you don't subtract them either. If they're equal, what do you put between them? Equal signs, okay? So let's go ahead and set this up. 7x plus 19 equals 11x minus 89, okay? So you have each side that's congruent equal to itself. If they gave you all 3 sides, you only need to pick 2, okay? Could you solve that when x is on both sides? Do you combine them or get rid of one? Sorry. Do not, yeah, it is one of the two. Which one? You do not combine them. If they're on different sides, you have to get rid of the smaller x. Which x is smaller? 7, it's positive, so I'm going to subtract 7x on both sides. That. Goodness gracious. 7x, slash it out. Bring down 19 equals 11 minus 7 is 4. Bring down minus 89. Now we have a 2-step equation. X is on the right. I need to get rid of the loner, right? So don't get rid of 4. Get rid of that minus 89. What's the opposite of minus 89? Plus 89. Okay, so plus 89 here, plus 89 here. And that gives me 108 is right. That equals 4x. And then, to get rid of that 4, what do? Divide by 4, okay? To get rid of that coefficient. So 108 divided by 4 is 27. Could you plug it back in to get the missing side links? In theory, yes, okay? Now, we're going to do these notes. Let me pass them out. Yesterday we did work on the assignment. Too bad and see. All right. Hey, you got to pass? Don't say that. Bad word. You got to pass? Sure, what's that about? Can't say it. All right. Here we go. Everyone's looking up here, okay? Good? All right. Phones, please. Headphones, please. Now, first things first. This is something you might already know, hopefully, okay? The inside of a triangle, all 3 angles, always add up to how many degrees? 180, 180 degrees. Go ahead and underline it. Whoa, hold on. Underline that, write it right here. It's 180 degrees. That's hot. Okay, but seriously, it's 180 degrees inside of a triangle. Yeah, always add up to 180. What else is 180? Do y'all remember from Unit 1? A straight line, right? So a straight line is 180. Inside of a triangle is 180, okay? Now, that's, hopefully you knew that. If not, now you know. But here's something new for sure. So if you think you know this, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Exterior angle theorem, okay? So this is different. Do y'all see how angle 1 is made by like extending the line a little bit, okay? So you have an outside angle, hey, hold on. Outside angle, and then you have two that are on the inside that are not next to it. We call those non-adjacent, okay? So what does it say? An exterior angle on the outside is always equal to the sum, which means add up, the two non-adjacent interior angles. That's a fancy way of saying this. The outside angle, 1, equals angle 2 plus angle 3. Inside angles, okay? So, again, I like to show it with symbols. So when I have those inside angles, I put a plus sign here, like these two added together, equals the outside angle. Inside plus inside, well, that equals the outside, furthest away from it. Cool? So here's how we write this. The measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. Everyone got that? So we're going to do some of these examples. There's kind of a lot on this page, but I'm going to hit the highlights. Cool? Let's do 1 through 3. Here we go. Number 1. Now this is not 1 degrees right here. That's obtuse, right? But this is missing. We can really call this x. Okay? So I'm going to put an x there where I see a 1. How do I find that missing angle? What do you think? First of all, what do they add up to? 180 in a triangle, right? So here's one way to do it. I'm going to add up all 3 angles. X plus 24 plus 37. And that's supposed to equal how much again? 180. Okay. Okay, so this always works if you set it up right, right? Right. All right, so x plus 24 plus 37. Now on this left side, I can combine these like terms. What's 24 plus 37? 61. So bring down x plus 61 equals 180. And then last step to solve for x, how do I get rid of that plus 61? Subtraction, minus 61, minus 61. X equals 119 degrees, okay? Now, some of y'all were, there's other ways to do it. Some of y'all are just like, I'm just gonna add them up and subtract from 180. That is what I did, but I showed all my work algebraically. I added them up, I subtracted from 180, okay? Now, that's number 1. Look at number 2. Do you see how number 2 is a little different? Because I have inside angle, and outside angle. Now, we just learned right here how to do that. That outside angle is going to equal the inside angles added together, right? So, here's how I like to write it, showing the little symbols. Put a little plus sign right here. And it equals, I'm going to call this x again. So this plus this has to equal that outside angle. I'll call it x. I'm going to write that out. So 76 plus 52 equals x. Now that equation's pretty easy because all you're going to do is literally add them up, right? What is that? Okay, so what is 76 plus 52? 128. That's it, 128 degrees. Okay, so when the outside is missing, it's pretty simple. Just add those two up. No big deal. However, number 3 is not the exact same. Look where the 1 is this time, okay? Well, number 2, the missing angle was outside. Number 3, now the missing angle is inside. A little different, but we're going to set it up at the beginning the same way. Or very similar, okay? So, again, I'm going to put an X there for that missing angle. Okay, so remember, I add these up, and then it equals the outside angle. So I'm going to set it up like that. Inside plus inside, so 79 plus X equals the outside angle, which is 104. Could you solve that? I want X by itself. How do I get rid of that 79? Subtract 79, subtract 79. So X equals 104 minus 79 is 25? 25 degrees. Okay. Now we're going to end up skipping 5 and 6. My bad. 5 and 7. Sorry. We're going to do 4 and 6. We're going to skip 5 and 7, okay? Because a lot of what you see here is going to be a repetition. So I just want to make sure you get it. I think you'll get the first 3, hopefully, okay? Look at number 4. Now, this is not a trick question, so don't get tricked. Hey, how many triangles are here? 3. All right, there's 2 and then a big one, right? Now, could you figure out angle 1? If I know these 2, can't I figure out this angle? What do they always add up to in a triangle? 180. Does everyone know that? You know that? What are you trying to make? What is it supposed to look like? What does that look like? All right. It adds up to 180 degrees. So let's go ahead. Now, instead of doing it the algebra way, I'm just going to add them up and subtract from 180. Okay. So, I mean, it's still technically algebra, but, you know, 66 plus 84, add them up like this, and I get 150. And then I'm going to take it over here and do 180 minus that 150. And I get 30. So angle 1 is really 30 degrees. Could you do that? Not too bad, right? So if you think you're so smart, could you figure out angle 2 right now? To get angle 2, I need to know the other 2 angles, right? By the way, this is at 3 degrees. This is a missing angle, right? So if you have 2 missing angles, you're kind of stuck right now. So before I can figure out angle 2, let's figure out angle 3. Now, for angle 3, it's right next to an 84 degrees, right? What do I know about 84 and that missing angle? What do they make? A straight line, and a straight line is how many degrees? 180, okay? So that's from unit 1. Do y'all remember the name of a pair of angles that make a line? What do we call those? What? Linear pair, okay? Y'all remember that? Linear pair from unit 1? These 2 angles make a straight line. We call that a linear pair. They add up to 180. So that's what I'm going to do on number 4 down here. Again, scratch out 7. So 180 to make a straight line. 180 minus 84 is 96, right? So angle 3 is 96. Cool. Now, can you figure out angle 2? If I know these 2, they're going to add up to a whole triangle, which is how many degrees once again? 180. So I'm going to take 96 plus 43. Get 139. 180 minus 139. And I got 41 degrees. Cool. And that's number 4. So again, this stuff is kind of just like a big old puzzle, but a lot of this stuff adds up to 180. Triangles, straight lines. Okay, you can figure out missing stuff, right? Number 6. Number 6, though. On number 6, okay, here we go. Can you figure out angle 1? How do I figure out angle 1? What do I do with these two numbers? Add them up, subtract from 180. You get the idea? This is getting kind of repetitive, right? So 68 plus 61 is 129. Subtract 129 from 180, and I get 51. Easy. Too easy, right? Okay. Now, what about number 2? Does anyone know what angle 2 is going to be, just by looking at it? What? What? 90? No. Got all those right answers on those papers that you did twice. Well, anyways, so look at this. When you see an X, okay, this is unit 1 stuff. When you see an X, the angles that are across from each other are called what? So remember? Vertical angles, okay? And vertical angles are congruent. They're the exact same, okay? So if this is 61 degrees at an intersection, the one across from it is going to be the exact same, 61 degrees, okay? So again, you see X's, those are vertical angles. They're going to match for sure. So go ahead and put a 61 right here for angle 2. Now that you have angle 2, can't you figure out angle 3? Okay, what do I do with the 61 in this thing right here? What is this right here? 90, right? So 61 plus 90 gives me 151. Take that away from 180 and I get 39. Oh, sorry. 29. Flip it over. We skip 5 and 7. You could do them. I believe in you. Now, Thursdays are shorter. I don't got a lot of time to do these repetitive ones. Does anyone still need these? Okay, so on the next page, again, you could figure out 1. You could figure out 3. You could figure out 2. We could do these. These are just puzzles, okay? But we're not going to do them right now, okay? I mean, if you do them, great. I got to show you these 2 algebra ones. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is very important, okay? So look at number 12, okay? All right. Now, does 12 look a little bit more complicated? Okay. Stick with me with these headphones, please. I want 2 more examples. Well, trust me. I don't trust anyone, especially headphone wearers. Just kidding. All right. Everybody. That's right. Don't trust anyone that wears a shirt that they shouldn't every other day. All right. So look. What are these angles always add up to right here? How much? You say 180. You say. So these add up to 180 degrees, yes? So let's do that. We're going to write it all out. Even though it's like an expression, we're still going to write it out. That plus that equals 180. It's going to be long. It's going to be, it is what it is. And then we're going to make it nice and neat and solve it. So here we go. 5x minus 2 plus 9x plus 3 plus 11x minus 21 equals 180. Okay? Part plus part plus part. All the angles add up to 180. Okay. Now, I know it looks complicated, long, but we can make it a lot easier. What's my first step to simplify this? We combine any like terms we see, right? On the left of the equal sign, I got 3 x's that I can combine. 5x plus 9x plus 11x. 5 plus 9 is 14, plus 11 is 25x. All those x's on the same side, combine them up. Then, with your numbers, -2 plus 3 minus 21. That gives you -20 when you add them all up, equals 180. Bring that down. Sorry, I tripped. Now, let's solve for x. X is right here. I want to get rid of the loner, -20. What's the opposite of -20? Plus 20 on both sides. So 25x equals 200. And then I get rid of the 25 coefficient by dividing. And I get x equals 8. Okay. Now, once you got x, look over here. Once I got x is 8, I'm not done. Obviously, I got more blanks. Can you plug that 8 back in to get all these missing angles? Okay. You should be able to. Okay. So if I plug in 8 right here, whoops, right here, that's 5 times 8, which is 40, minus 2, which gives me 38 degrees. If I plug in 8 right here, that's 11 times 8, which is 88, minus 21, which gives me 67 degrees for F. And if I plug in 8 right here, that's 9 times 8, 72, plus 3, 75 degrees. Evaluating or substituting values shouldn't be that bad, okay? We are going to skip 13 and we are going to skip 15, but I do need to show you one of the exterior algebraic problems. So we are going to do 14 once everyone's got this down. So I'll give you a second. Anyone still need 12? Because we're going to do 14 next. Okay, 14, here we go. Do you see how 14 is an exterior angle problem? Remember, the inside plus the inside equals the outside. So here's how you set it up. Inside angle plus inside angle. Don't add the third one. Look, this is not inside. You're not just adding all 3 of them up to 180, okay? It's the inside plus the inside, then you put equals the outside. Okay, getting this down. In the back, everyone, getting this down. So combine like terms, 13 plus 4 is 17x. Negative 11 plus 1 is negative 10. Equals 18x minus 15. X is on both sides. You get rid of the smaller x, so minus 17x. Negative 10 equals 18 minus 17 is 1x. Bring down minus 15. Hey, and then get rid of the minus 15 loner by adding 15. That gives me 5. Okay. And just like last time, once I got 5, I can plug it back into all these. So 13x minus 11 is 13 times 5. 65 minus 11 is 54 degrees. 4x plus 1, so 4 times 5, which is 20, plus 1 is 21 degrees. Plug in 18x minus 15, so 18 times 5, 90, minus 15 is 75 degrees. And then a linear pair for 75 to make a straight line. 180 minus 75 gives me 105. 54 degrees, 21 degrees, 105 degrees, and 75 degrees. I know that was a lot, but we got shorter classes today. I hope there's some clarity there that it's inside plus inside equals outside, and in the algebra, you're just solving it, plugging it back in. I'm going to get you the assignment now, even though there's only a few minutes, but you will have class time tomorrow to work on this. Pass it out.